Up to now, we have been doing arithmetic, which uses only numbers. Now we will learn algebra, which uses letters to represent numbers. These letters are called variables because their value will vary. There are two types of things that we'll do in algebra. You'll look at an expression. An expression has no equal sign, and the only way to know the value of the variable is if they tell you. For example, evaluate x plus 3 when x is equal to 10. So you just put the 10 where you see the x, and 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. When you're solving an equation, it has an equal sign. In an equation, x represents a particular number, and that number is called the solution. So if x plus 2 is equal to 7, then x is 5. 5 is the solution of the equation. A number that is being multiplied by a variable is called a coefficient. A number that is all by itself is a constant. You will recall that in math, when things are next to each other, it implies that they are multiplied. However, we always write it without the multiplication symbol. When solving equations, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side to maintain equality. A linear equation is an equation where all of the exponents are equal to 1. When the exponent is 1, it is not shown, so x to the 1 power is just written as x. We will be solving linear equations with one variable. Your goal is to isolate x, which means you want x by itself. We will use the opposite operation. What am I talking about? Well, 7 is being multiplied by the x. We will do the opposite of multiplying by 7, which is to divide by 7. So 7 times x divided by 7 equals, and remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side of the equation. Seven over 7 equals 1. 42 divided by 7 is 6. And we have x by itself, so 6 is our solution. If we have 9x equals 63, the x is being multiplied by 9, so we do the opposite of multiplying by 9, which is to divide both sides by 9. Nine over 9 equals 1. 63 divided by 9 is 7. So x equals 7 is the solution. Remember that the number that is multiplied by the variable is called the coefficient. What do you do if your coefficient is negative? Well, the opposite of multiplying by -2 is dividing by -2. So in order to get x by itself, you divide by the coefficient, even if it's negative. -2 divided by -2 equals 1. 8 divided by -2 is -4. If 9x is equal to 3, in order to get x by itself, we divide both sides by 9. Nine over 9 equals 1. And your answer is 3 over 9. But remember, whenever your answer is a fraction, you must reduce. So your final answer is 1/3. If 0.3x is equal to 0.315, we just do the exact same thing. Divide by the coefficient of x. (0.3) divided by 0.3 is equal to 1. And then we'll just simplify this using long division. So 3.15 divided by 0.3, move the decimal point in both numbers one place, and you get 1.05 as your solution. If x is being divided by 5, the opposite of dividing by 5 is to multiply by 5. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side of the equation. 5 over 5 equals 1, and x is equal to 35. What if you have negative x equal to 3? Well, negative x is the same thing as -1 times x. So the coefficient of x is -1. So we just divide both sides by -1. -1 divided by -1 equals 1. +3 divided by -1 is -3. (5x) is equal to 0. Well, x is being multiplied by 5, so we do the opposite, which is to divide by 5. (5 over 5 equals 1. 0 divided by 5 is just 0. And just a note, x equals 3 means the same thing as 3 equals x. You could write it either way.